There's a at the very, very end of the course, there's a video that talks about that. But
Okay.
also there is that video. Um, if you just type in Overages Gold, you'll find it on YouTube. And so
Mhm.
that kind of goes over the basic gist of it. And then, yeah, if you have any other questions about it or just want to see like the fine details of it, feel free to shoot me an email at nick@overagesyndicate.com and I can send you the like the paperwork and stuff for that.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Absolutely. Awesome, awesome. We'll see if we're streaming right now. It looks like we are. If you're just joining us, guys, we're just doing basic questions. If you have any questions about the overage business in general or about any of the programs I offer or anything like that, feel free to type them in the chat. If you're joining us from Facebook or LinkedIn or Zoom, obviously the Zoom folks, you guys can unmute yourself and talk to me. So that's cool. Oh, here, let's see. What's this question? Have you noticed the nonprofit organization around a national organization for overage specialists? No, I haven't. Is that an organization that exists, or what is it? Is it like Rightful Owner Project or something like that? I'd definitely be interested if there is one. Do you know the name of it? Because Project Rightful Owner is a specific program out of Delaware. Yeah, it's sponsored by the state. So I have no experience with nonprofits, so I have no idea how that would work. I do know that there is an organization that I donate to because they, kind of fight to help their fights help our industry. It's called Pacific Legal Foundation. And so Pacific Legal Foundation is actually the law firm that helped overturn the laws in Michigan that allowed the counties to keep tax sale overages. And so that is no longer the case. Now homeowners can claim their overages in Michigan. So that's a big deal. Most people don't know about that. But I am hoping that because of that case, that other states will follow, such as places like Wisconsin, Minnesota, things like that. Because I guess that's one of the biggest things about one of the biggest differences between learning tax overages and mortgage overages. Tax overages, there are some states you can't work because either the counties can keep the overage or they just do not exist because of the way the tax sales are held. Mortgage overages, as far as I know, you can work all 50 states. So one of the big things. So someone asked, let's see here, Sean, how do you get more consistent results with cold calling and cold texting? Sometimes it seems so daunting and energy draining. Yeah, absolutely, man. It's definitely difficult with the cold calling and the texting and all that good stuff. The biggest thing is consistency. Being consistent at those things that are going to create inbound leads or responses is the biggest thing, because here's what happens. Everyone's familiar with compound interest, right? Well, there's compounding effects in your actions. Okay, I always say it's better to do 30 minutes a day than maybe 4 hours straight on one day a week. Because if you can just do a consistent action on a daily basis, Now, obviously 4 is better than 0, right? 4 hours on a Saturday is, if that's all you can fit in, then that's all you can fit in. But what you'll find is the more consistent you are at calling and texting, the more you'll be able to generate the responses that you're looking for. And one of the toughest things about this business is it requires a lot of patience, and I guess it requires a lot of faith, in other words, because you may send out letters, you may make phone calls, send out texts, and get 0 response. And that can be very disheartening. But one thing that's really interesting, in fact, let me see if I can, I'm going to see if I can share this. One of my students shared this. It was a really good insight. Here it is right here. Oh, how do I share my screen here? Let's see. Let's see. Can you guys see the Facebook group on here? Hopefully.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, cool. So this was from one of my students, Megan. She shared this. I'll just read what she had to say because it's really important. So sharing this is a form of motivation for anyone who needs it, because at most times we all need it. Surplus recovery can make you want to pluck every eyelash you have. We've all been there. But I want to emphasize the importance of Nick's teachings. Number 1, how important it is to have persistence, to a certain extent, of course. Number 2, using the 3 levels deep method, texting, calling every number you can find that may somehow get back to the person you're looking for. Number 3, having a website. She goes on to say, I remember looking for this person last summer. It's been almost a year, and I was finally able to reach someone who reached out to him. However, I did not go 3 levels deep when I initially got started on his skip trace. I had given up. But recently, I've been going through old leads just to see what new information pops up. And he obviously checked my website before he contacted me, because I provided all my contact info to whomever, but he did not contact my number directly. Funny thing is, not one of the family members or friends ever texted me back, so I had no idea someone had gone to tell him. Sometimes you do all that you can to contact a potential lead and no one bites, and then surprise, I guess you just may get lucky, end quote. Now, I disagree with her. I don't think she got lucky. She put in the work, but now she is actually, she's seen some seeds that she planted over a year ago finally sprout. And that's very common. Like, just because you don't get a response, guys, just because you call someone and leave a voicemail, or you send them a text, or you send them a letter and an email, just because you don't get a response doesn't mean that somebody hasn't received your communication. Okay. And this is actually pretty common, where, like, we just had a deal earlier this year. It was a large overage. The family contacted me in February of this year, but our initial contact to them was in August of 21. Now, that doesn't happen with all cases. Sometimes you get some cases where you call someone, they pick up, you have a conversation, and you have paperwork out to them the same day. It's all across the board. Sometimes you have cases like that. Other cases are like this, where you don't even know if someone received your communication, and then maybe a few months go by, or in this case, years go by, and oh, lo and behold, you get a phone call, or you get an email, or you get a text message. Hey, I'm ready to move forward now. It's the weirdest thing, but it also is one of the challenging parts about the business. So understand that the actions you take today, you may not see the result of those actions for several months. And that's just how it is. Awesome. Cool, guys. Any other questions?
Nick, thanks for sharing that. There's been times that I've wanted to just quit doing it because you call and you text and you email, you try to get a hold of this person and you just wait. I guess you just wait till later on, but thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, you bet. It's really hard, it's a hard business. And I think that's why I think there's a lot of folks that get into it. They get really excited and then they hit that moment, right? Where it's like, they're not getting responses. And they just say it's not worth it. And they throw their hands up and they quit and they walk away and they go do something else. Honestly, I think that's like, I am nobody special. I don't have any special talents or gifts. I think the only reason that I've had any level of success in this business is because I've been in it longer than most people. I started learning about it in 2014, did my first deals in 2015. And so to still be doing it for this long is like an eternity. Most people jump in, a lot of folks don't see a deal because they may quit maybe 2, 3, 4 months in. And I say, like, if you get in this business, you need to give it at least a minimum 6 months, preferably a year, of like doing the work. And if you can last a year, you've probably outlasted most people. That's just the bottom line. And it's hard because our society, right? Like we live in a day and age where it's we can get things instantaneously. Like if I want McDonald's, I don't even have to leave my house anymore, right? I can just get on an app and someone brings it to me. Or if I want a book or a video or whatever, I get on Amazon. It's here tomorrow. And so it's really cool that we live in that day and age. But when it comes to a business like this, it trains us that we should see results instantaneously or at least quickly. And that's not how it is, at least not in this business. You do not see results quickly in this business. So got to have a lot of patience, got to have a lot of faith. That's just the bottom line. And then you got to have persistence because your faith, like, to put it bluntly, your faith will be tested. And most people do not pass the test. They quit and they try something else. Good question, David. So is there a link up as far as, so David is referring to the CRM software that's coming out. We're doing a live demo tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. There is a link for it on YouTube. If you go to let me see. Well, I'll just show you guys. So share my screen again here. Share screen. Whoa. Channel. So if you go to the YouTube channel, and this will be posted in the public Facebook group as well. This video right here. So new surplus funds, overage tracking software, whatever it says.
We're going to be here.
Right down here in the description, here is the link to register for that demo. Okay, so that's where it is. And in fact, I should probably post that in the comments as well. But there you go. That's where you can go, David, to sign up for it. Really good question. Stop share. Any other questions? No, I don't see any other questions. All right, guys, I'll take maybe one more before we close it out for the day. Let's see. Looks like it's working on YouTube. Got some folks on Facebook too, so that's good. All right, cool. This is good. It seems to be working today, whereas last week it was pretty choppy.
I have a question.
Yes.
Have you done any deals in New Jersey?
Not yet, but New Jersey is on my radar. Definitely use an attorney. I would not venture in New Jersey without an attorney. And but there is definitely opportunity in New Jersey. I can say that. There's a lot of mortgage overages in New Jersey for sure. So
I figured as much.
yeah, New Jersey seems to be in at least the top 10 on a consistent basis as far as foreclosures go. And yeah, I've seen a wide range of overages, you know, from little small overages to really big overages in New Jersey. And so there's definitely opportunity there for sure.
I'm not surprised with the property taxes that we pay in this state.
Yeah. Yep. You bet. Yep. And there's yeah, I've had my eye on New Jersey for a while now for sure.
And I'm always surprised that people ask questions about using an attorney. I get that people don't want to do the expense, but unless you're seasoned in this, I venture to say most people in this business are new.
Yeah.
Even if you've only been doing it for 2 years, I consider that to still be new. I would never do any of this without an attorney.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I understand too, right? Because especially when you're just starting out in business, most people get in business to improve their income, and they may not have a lot of resources to dedicate. But that is one thing that folks, it's important for them to realize is a lot of attorneys will also work on contingency, meaning they'll get paid when you get paid. And so it doesn't, as long as you're willing to give up, like, you know, negotiate a flat fee up front, or maybe negotiate a percentage of the deal to go to the attorney. It's really, you don't always have to have money up front to pay for an attorney. They can work on contingency as well. So it's something to keep in mind for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Somebody asked, want to know, do you have to start this business as an LLC, and how is Maryland? So you don't have to have an LLC in the beginning. I recommend getting an LLC. The truth of the matter is, when I got started, I actually didn't have an LLC. I just put my personal name on the fee agreement, and I did probably 2 deals like that. But after that first deal, when I was like, you know, okay, this is real, this works, I was like, it's time. I should probably, you know, get a little more professional. And so I did go and get an LLC. So I recommend getting one, but you don't have to have one to get started. Okay. Maryland, I like Maryland. There's not a ton of tax overages in Maryland, but there are some, and there are mortgage overages. I've done both tows and mows in Maryland. I like it. It's a good state. One of the more expensive states as far as legal fees go, but and even on contingency. But I personally like Maryland. Nothing wrong with Maryland. All right. Cool. Awesome, guys. Appreciate you jumping on for a little bit. Yeah, if you're interested in checking out that demo, just go to check out the YouTube video. And then if you're like brand new to overages, like you barely started, there's my free training at overagesyndicate.com. And then there is a ton of YouTube videos, a ton. Now, keep in mind, guys, there's no how-to videos on YouTube. Most of my YouTube videos are case studies, testimonials, and just answering basic questions like here today. The how-to to get all that, like the how-to step-by-step, how do you make money in overages? You can find that at school.overagecourse.com. So there you go. All right, there's one last question. Have I done deals in South Carolina? Yes, I have. I also like South Carolina. There are some pretty interesting deadlines in South Carolina that you're supposed to abide by. I think it's like, if I remember correctly, you have like 45 days to submit your claim from the date of sale for foreclosures. And for tax sales, it's like you have to submit your claim within 90 days from when the tax deed is issued, if I remember correctly. So you got to be quick in South Carolina. But yeah, great state. I like South Carolina. And you'll find, guys, every state has its different nuances. Like every state has their own processes, their own rules, their own laws. And that's, again, a reason why I recommend focusing on one area first. Because every time you branch out to a new state, it's almost like learning the process all over again. Because now you have to learn about the laws, the procedures, all that good stuff. Barbara, I don't see your question. Barbara says, where's my long question? I do not know. I don't see it. Let me scroll up here. Nope. I don't see it. Let me try this. Oh, no, that doesn't work. It would be nice if people could. The thing with the StreamYard is people can't unmute themselves and chat like they can on Zoom. That's why Zoom is nice. So. Yeah, I don't know, Barbara. Sorry about that. I don't see where your question is. That's frustrating. I wonder if it's the software. Let's see. I see you're on YouTube. So if I go to the YouTube, will I see it there? Let's find out. I see you're on YouTube. So there's my voice. Nope, I still don't see it on YouTube. Bummer. Alrighty then. All right, a bunch of people are asking about states now. Okay, I'll just blaze through these real quick. Florida, lots of opportunity in Florida. There's a ton of overages in Florida. Like, I've been tracking the sales in Florida and I'm just blown away at the amount of overages that are being generated in Florida right now. I mean, we're talking 8 figures on a monthly basis so far in 2022, just in Florida. Now, so with that being said, there's a lot of opportunity. Florida has also one of the best court record systems. You know, super easy to get information, super easy to find out who's owed overages, super easy to, you know, get leads. Access to data is great, easy to get research. And because of that, because it is easy to access all of that information, Florida is one of the most competitive states in the country. So, and that's going to go, so that's a general rule of thumb, guys. The easier it is to get your leads and your info, the more people are going to be drawn to that place. And the opposite is also true. The harder it is for you to get information or to generate leads in a place, the less people are going to work there. So that's just kind of a general rule of thumb. Florida is awesome, land of opportunity, also a lot of competition. Have I done deals in Montana? We actually just sent paperwork to a gentleman in Montana just recently. If he signs, that will be our first one. So I have not completed one in Montana yet, but we are working on it. Chicago, I have not done anything in Chicago. So what I'm about to say for Chicago is hearsay. It's just what I've heard about Chicago. It is not based on my own experience. And I don't know if this applies to the entire state of Illinois. Illinois is one of those places that only has mortgage overages. Their tax sales don't really generate overages, at least not that I've seen. Specifically Chicago, I have heard that the judges there will not release checks to attorneys representing clients. They basically want the homeowner to show up in person at the courthouse in order for them to get their check. They won't mail it out. They want them to come down there. And, you know, they seem to be very adamant that they will only make it out to the homeowner or the claimant, whoever that is. That's what I've heard. I've seen people do deals in Chicago, Illinois. Like somebody posted in the Facebook group that they like drove their client down to the courthouse and picked up the check, and they went together and cashed it. It was a smaller check, and then they got paid. So, you know, that's possible to do. It's possible to do deals there. You just have to do it a little bit different. And then there's lots of overages as far as mortgage overages in Illinois. Illinois is also one of those top 10 states for foreclosures. Texas, like Texas, everything's bigger in Texas, right? Quite a bit of opportunity in Texas. Mortgage overages can be difficult because there's not really good access to information in Texas for mortgage overages. Tax overages are a little bit easier, but then you've got a lot of red tape around tax overages. Don't be using assignments in Texas. Let's see. So as far as how is it when a person attends a real-time foreclosure? Okay, I think I understand the question. So the question is that let's say you go to a foreclosure auction, and it looks like you compare the sold amount to the opening bid, and it looks like there's a large overage, right? But then you find out maybe a couple days later that there's no overage. Why is that? So example, let's say the opening bid is 100,000 and it sells for 200,000. So on its face, that example I just gave looks like there's 100K, right? And then you go back and you find out that there's nothing there. Does that happen? Yes. Is the opening bid always the amount owed to the bank? No. Depends on the state in a lot of places. Now, why would the bank put the opening bid lower than what they're actually owed? The reason behind that is the bank wants to trigger some competitive bidding to drive the price up so that they can recoup, hopefully, exact more than what they're owed, but they can only take what they're owed. They can't take more, right? But that's the reason why sometimes the opening bid is actually set lower than the actual debt owed to the bank, is because they're trying to motivate investors to bid against each other and drive the price up. Does that make sense? That's very common in the Midwest. You'll see a lot of opening bids will be set lower than the actual debt owed to the bank. And that's why they do it, so that they can trigger that competitive bidding. I do have some deals in Delaware. Delaware is also one of those top 10 foreclosure states. Lots of opportunity in Delaware. Seems to be taking quite a while to pay out in Delaware. But nothing wrong with Delaware. Got to use an attorney for sure. Got to use an attorney in Delaware. Great question, Ed, as far as overcoming fee limits. The best place to learn about that is to join one of my overage mastery classes. I don't have any scheduled currently. So whenever I do that again, that's where you can learn about it. But that's pretty much the only place that I know of where you can learn about it. Charles, I think you joined a little bit late. So Charles' question is mailing out letters asking people if they had an account with such and such bank, thinking that will get a response from them, but it's not working. I think it's making them more skeptical. Yeah. So someone asked us earlier as far as like not getting responses, right? So I would recommend, Charles, go back when this is posted, go back through the replay and watch like the first 15 minutes of this video, as far as, because I address that pretty heavily as far as not getting responses. So I think that'll be very beneficial for you to watch. The other question I'd ask is how many letters are you sending out and how consistently? This is very much a numbers game in this business. If the opening bid is less than what is owed and bidding ends below what is owed, is there an overage? No. An overage is only created when a property sells for more than what's owed to the bank or the county. All right, cool. Yeah, Chris, I do like an overage mastery class where I do like more high level, more advanced stuff. You know, how to overcome fee limitations, you know, how to use judgments and liens to your advantage. You know, how to different strategies as far as like, you know, working for other people besides the ex-homeowner, working for other types of claimants, working for businesses, defunct corporations, things of that nature. Yeah, it's a lot of more advanced and in-depth stuff. So I haven't done any of those yet this year. So we'll see but when I do, I post it to the YouTube. I'll let you guys know for sure. All right. Awesome, guys. No, I don't have a mastery class planned anytime soon, but I'll let you know. It's not cheap, I'll tell you that. But I'll post a video on my YouTube, and I'll send out an email to everyone, and when I do have it, so you'll hear about it. All right, guys, that's it for today. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful week. Have a great Monday. Thanks for spending the time, and we'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Thanks, guys.